whatever happened between your mom and dad has nothing to do with you. Maybe your mom made a bad choice. Maybe it was a great choice and dad went down some weird rabbit hole of alcohol and drugs and ended up absent out of your life. Whatever circumstances led you to here, where you are without dad, we now have to figure out, what do we do beyond this? Because I want you to understand that if you're constantly longing for your dad, for your father, and hoping that you guys can one day reconnect, and until then you won't be whole, you're letting your life go by. And if you're letting your life go by, there's a massive amount of people who could be getting inspiration, motivation, service, support, a product, of whatever from you, but you're too busy sitting in your own shit, depressed, anxious, sad, overwhelmed, feeling like a victim, to put your best self out there. And so I'm here to tell you this: your father who's absent, who chose to abandon you, to abandon your siblings, to abandon your mom, to leave, that's not your fault. What is your fault is if you continue to stay in this state of victimhood. But I want to let you know that the greatest level of self-mastery that you could do right now is to understand one thing, that that was not your father. That's not your dad. That person who abandoned you is just a sperm donor. And I want you to understand it that way. As soon as you do, you will already start evolving to a higher place as a human. Because I want you to understand that you are not a replica of him. And if you've got a mother who maybe is nuts or a little on the deep end of, on the crazy side, which could be why she chose a fucked up father for you in the first place. And if she's blaming it on you, I'm here to tell you it's not your fault that he left. And if you've got a supportive mom who tries to provide, who tries to do everything for you, that is awesome, man. Then you've got an even greater duty to get out of this shit phase that you're in of loathing, of feeling like a victim, of feeling sorry. Because if you don't, how can you show this mom who, as a single mom, raised you, took care of you, poured into you, provided for you, did as much as she could to expose you to good people, good values, good morals? So on one side of it, it's not your fault. If your mom is crazy and she picked crazy and your crazy pops went away, well, guess what? That's not your fault. That guy was a sperm donor. He is not your father. He is not your dad. Don't go out looking for a relationship with him. And on the flip side of it, if your mom did pick a crazy person, but your mom is a good human being, she's not blaming you for anything, she took care of you, well, guess what? You've got this duty and obligation to transcend, man, to rise up and become the better version of yourself. Because I'm here to tell you that if you constantly take on this victim role, if you're always loathing, if you feel that, well, I've been rejected and therefore I will always be rejected, you're going to miss out on the best parts of life. Money, meaning, love, experiences, a family. And to that point, I want to let you know that you've got a second chance. You've got a second chance at a father and son relationship. Now, obviously, the first chance didn't work out for you, where you were the son and your father is absent. But you do have a second chance at a father and son relationship, or a father and child relationship. And that is when you have a child and you love that child up and you are present and you are loving and you were there and you were whole and you provide, you protect, you give them experiences, you build memories. And what that will do is it will heal your inner child. I promise you that. Whether your dad was absent physically or your dad was absent emotionally, when you have that second chance at a father and son relationship, you'll see a lot of healing take place. But you'll never put yourself in a place to have a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship, and children if you don't do the healing that you've got to do, if you don't develop yourself into the man that you're meant to be. Because you might go out and repeat the same pattern. You might go out and pick a woman who's crazy, who's nuts, who's codependent, and you find yourself becoming this Captain Save-A-Ho and repeating the same pattern, and maybe you'll stay in that marriage for the sake of those children, but it will be a shitty relationship and you know it. And imagine the damage that you'll do to those kids by picking the wrong woman. Listen, I stopped taking all of those and I started taking this, the Keuilian Wellness Shot. In fact, I created this because I was sick and tired of every morning taking 11 different supplements like turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, black pepper, vitamin B12, echinacea, vitamin C, zinc, right? Think about this. If you want to improve your immune system, if you want to fight off inflammation in your body so that you have better gut health, you have more energy, your joints don't hurt, then you're going to want to take all those supplements. And I was taking it twice a day, every day. And so when we created the Truly Wellness Shot, we cut no corners and we spared no expense. And so in this, you've got something that's going to not only help boost your immune system, but also fight off inflammation. Because if you're a high performer and if you want to get more done, if you want to stay more focused, if you want to make sure that you don't get sick as frequently, then you have to care about your immune system and you have to fight off inflammation, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're high performing and you have a stressful work day from time to time, right? And so here's what I want you to do. You're going to click on the link in the description box or go to trulean.com and you're going to use the code word Bedros. And when you use my name, Bedros, you'll get 50% off your first subscribe and save bundle. For whatever reason you don't like the Truly Wellness Shot, which I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't, then let us know in your first 30 days. We'll give you a full refund. Part ways as friends. Fair enough? Go check it out. Use the code word Bedros. Get 50% off. Peace. And so young men, I'm speaking to you. If you were fatherless, understand that that was a sperm donor. You were abandoned and that was a gift because that guy was an asshole. But the gift that you got was a gift of life, the gift of opportunity. And instead of feeling like a victim, like you were rejected, like you were abandoned, you should feel as though you've got a chance to impact and to influence the next generation. And that only happens when you decide to heal. So how does healing happen, right? Well, I want to let you know something. Healing happens by virtue of you seeking out other men who have those traits of a great father. I know it's easy to sit and play video games, feel sad and feel like a victim and feel like you were thrown away, to escape with weed and alcohol and pornography, to vape away your feelings, but that's not going to get you anywhere. You can play video games all you want. You can binge watch TV all you want. You can escape with these vices all you want. Until you start healing, you will not feel whole. And healing happens by you finding other men. Each thing that you find and each man that you find who has a code, who has core values, who is honorable, who can teach you skills, who can fit into your life like a mentor, a big brother, a father, you'll find that that giant hole in your heart that was left there by your dad who abandoned you will start to heal. And that is a pretty fucking cool thing, man. And I want to let you know that sometimes you have to use this anger and this rage that you have. If you're angry and pissed off that you were abandoned and you feel rejected and you, your mom, your siblings, you guys had a hard time getting by on a single income household because that guy took off and didn't fulfill his responsibilities as a father, as a dad. Well, guess what? Use that anger, use that rage to become the best version of yourself, to become a man with so much honor, so much value, so many skills and traits that you can start serving other men, other young men who are currently in your position. And so what you can do as a young man who is fatherless is to realize that fuck him, number one. Number two, use that anger and rage and channel it for good instead of for self-destruction, and become the best version of yourself. And between that and jujitsu and surfing and whatever other skills, knife fighting, gunfighting, like learn the skills that men possess, and you will soon realize that with those skills of strength and courage and tough guy stuff, you also meet some really tender-hearted humans. Because I can tell you from firsthand experience, a lot of these guys care and love and want to protect, want to serve, want to support. And these men become your father figures. And just through the power of proximity, of being around them, you will find yourself developing into the man that your father should have helped you develop into had he stuck around, number one, and had he known what to do, number two. And the truth is, if your pops isn't here, guess what? He probably didn't have those skills. He probably didn't have those traits. He probably had a fucked up childhood. And I'm not trying to absolve him from taking off, but I'm saying you're probably better off having an absent father than some addict who's abusive to you, to your siblings, to your mom, whether mentally, emotionally, physically. And so consider this a gift, man. You are not a victim. Fuck the sperm donor, but what a gift that you're alive. Find the fathers in your life who can teach you the skills, the traits, the code of man. But I want to let you know right now that there's nothing wrong with you other than the false identity that you've taken on by feeling like you're a reject or that you're unlovable or that you're a victim. You're none of that. You're a fucking savage human being. And the greatest revenge you can give to that sperm donor is a revenge of success, because success truly is the greatest revenge, man. Happiness is the greatest revenge. Fulfillment, living your life's purpose, those are all the greatest revenge. Moping around, feeling like a victim, over drinking, over smoking, overstimulating with bullshit stuff just to escape your reality because you're sad, serves no one. Not you, not your mom, not your siblings. And this is your chance for you to flip the switch, to become that role model.